All right, cool. I am ready to get started. Oh my god, a Kanna? It's been a while.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I thought
I
they
thought
all
those died out.
I thought they all got obliterated in the blast, but some of them made it out apparently.
Yeah.
Wow, you win on Legion coins. Congrats. How does it feel?
I don't know. I don't train, so I can really buy the funds. Just drop rate for bossing.
I see, yeah.
Da-
People say I have a
Daily,
lot.
weekly bossing.
See,
Yeah.
see chat?
That's,
I don't have that many, okay? You need to chill out. I'm below 70k now. But yeah, what's up, dude? Let me know what's the situation. What can I help you with today?
just the main thing is I feel really weak. I've been trying to do Hard Lotus, and I can get to P3 fairly fine, but like 10 minutes into P3, she's still at like 80%. And it's like a 29-minute maybe boss fight kind of thing. And
Wait, Lotus, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you said she, but Lotus is a dude. Right?
Yeah,
Making sure that you didn't mean Lucid, because I messed them up all the time.
yeah,
So on the Kanna, you mean?
yes, on the
Okay.
Kanna. Haven't tried Hardamian yet.
And how long to get to phase 3 itself?
I think it's within like 6 or 7 minutes. I usually do 2 domains on P2 and 0 on P1. So yeah, it's 7-ish. I get there fairly quickly, but like once I get to P3, I also die out sort of because it's like there's so much shit going on. I feel like I should be killing her way faster considering how much stat I have, but final damage nerfs.
Do you get the skill visibility as well for yourself?
Yes, I see domain and.
Oh
and,
god, that doesn't help, right? There's already so
doesn't.
much going on. Oh god, okay. Yeah, because seeing domain and all the fucking barriers and will made that a little bit harder for me as well. So I can only imagine in Lotus when it's all you.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it for Lotus, a lot of it comes down to positioning and realizing the delay on all the stuff and never getting out of the way too early so that you can squeeze in a bit more damage, but also not too late so that you die to things, right? It's like finding that sweet spot with like not overstaying, but staying as long as you can to get those hits in. What are some tools that are important for you? Well, you got your knock back resistance, right, in your charm. That's pretty important. Or knockdown resistance, I should say. Yeah,
I try to do that when he does the knockback, but it doesn't always.
Yeah,
sometimes
you've got those one plat ones with, you got like the Molishers coming down and there's one plat and he's right next to it. You're like, well, this is like 99%. I'm going to die here.
Yeah.
In that case, what could work, with maybe a little bit of a Hail Mary or something is actually going to the upside of the map and then just, what is it? Shikigami charming up and then blinking and then just staying up in the air and then hoping that if there's anything but a demolicizer, you can just tank that and then fall later, right? So sometimes it'll be safer to just actually go into the laser and go to the opposite side of the map and do something cheeky like that.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. Or like Orochi staying in the air longer, right? You have your airtime skills.
Yeah, I do the jump into Orochi to avoid laser if I can't get to a platform.
Okay. So is it usually like a combo of stuff that kills you in P3? It's never like one element, right?
Yeah, I feel like I don't die to laser too much. I think it's just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm just taking so long to do damage, and it's just there's like a 1 in 100 chance, but if every 100 seconds I die, and it's like, well, I'm gonna be there for 20 something minutes, so
yeah,
it's kind of inevitable. I feel like I just need to hit harder.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, mechanics wise, I don't know if I can. There are more things. You get the. Haku doesn't really help you there, right? Most of the other situations, Haku has got some more help for you, but
Yeah, the biggest thing for Haku is just stopping me from getting stunned while I'm doing what's it
Like
called?
charging or something.
Vanquisher's Charm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vanquisher Charming. Yeah. But ideally, you don't want to tank too many things anyway, because of the heal cooldown, right? Like you get lifesteal, which is pretty good, of course.
Yeah, it's like 1%. It's nice, but it's not huge.
During Vanquisher, I imagine it's decent because of all of the stuff flying out, but other than that, and Haku heals you every now and then. But yeah, you ideally don't want to tank.
On bosses, it's 1% every 4 seconds.
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
matter.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, that's not.
There's an ICD, so it doesn't matter how many times you hit.
Okay. Darkhawk's saying, how's the weaving going? I think that's the
yeah,
main
Tengu
consensus.
weaving. I think I guess I assume I know what it is, but I haven't officially looked it up, so I just I think it's basically just whenever you need to like cancel animation, you do Tengu strike, but yeah.
Yeah, there's like one on the way out and one on the way in, as I imagine it. I've also heard about it, but I do the weaker versions of Damien, so I don't really want to bother with any of that. But what I basically heard from a lot of people is that Kanna's still really good, but you have to basically Tengu weave, otherwise it's really rough, especially if solo bossing like something like Hard Lotus, and then Hard Damien is even harder. Of course, you've got some tools to deal with it. You got some damage in the air. That big blue ball really helps if you can make that go all the way through him while he's up in the air. That's really nice. Orochi can do some damage up there, but yeah, in general, he's out of the damage area a lot more as well. But when you do normal for these bosses, like how would you say you kill those really quickly, like under a minute each, like a 30-second run, basically? You just like blow them up?
I think they're 1.5 to 2 minutes. Like, and that's like not even using domain during all of Lotus.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, because the hard one has basically 30 times the HP, right? So it's higher difficulty plus 30 times. So if you want to kill it in 30 minutes, that means that the normal one has to be done in a minute. Probably a little bit less, because if you multiply by 30, if you spend like 5 seconds in a purple ball phase, if you do that multiply by 30, it doesn't quite
that's a lot of time.
Translate over. So you get a little bit more time.
Plus the screen transitions too, right?
Yeah,
exactly. If it's a 30-second run, 10 seconds of that is the machine and Lotus P2 dying. So
yeah,
that doesn't scale up. Yeah.
I don't know if we can look it up. Is it mentioned in the Kanna guide from Sleepable? This is an old guide though, but it might mention if I Control F4 weave. No, it's not in here. Weave. Huh. Weakest. Bursts, maybe? The point of above, Vigorous Charm does notably more lands and she got hunting or Stinker Strike.
Because while I'm just regularly attacking, I'm spamming Tengu Strike 2. Like I do both at the same time. And if I'm in domain, I'm also doing Exorcist as well.
Yeah, and then you can do like a second Vanquisher Charm just on the end of the domain, right?
Yeah.
Not like completely, but like part of it.
You can start it, yeah.
Yeah, it's so tricky though, because there has to be a good timing, and he has to not be pushing things around, and
yeah.
Two Elite Ninja has a weaving guide on his YouTube. Okay, let's look that up. Let's try to just confirm that that's what you're doing. Lego ideas. Yeah, that's definitely what I was looking for, my dude.
OBS is on.
Is OBS on? Videos. Look for DPM comparison, all methods. Weaving a full tutorial. Oh, 12-minute video. Okay, let's see if we can.
Maybe you haven't, or maybe you saw one of other boxing videos, or like that. And like, okay, well, I can cancel EXO too, but it's like that, right? Like, how do I keep on going, right? And the trick to making your character fall fast is right after you cancel the EXO, you press haunting again immediately. So it'll be like that, and you would start falling.
So this is what our boy in Rain Song was doing the whole time.
Actually press EXO and Tengu at the exact same time. I know it sounds a little bit tricky and kind of tight on timing, but from experience, you should get it done pretty quickly.
This video should be louder.
It does.
Does that
Yeah,
look?
I don't hear anything from the video.
Yeah, no. He's talking about the timing, so you're doing EXO and Vanquisher at the exact same time?
Yeah, it's an animation cancel, right?
Yeah, and you're canceling the Tengu with it?
If you press at the same time, like, you try it over and over again, it really doesn't work. Some people try to press Tengu, like, a split second, like, 0.1 seconds before EXO, and then it works for them that way as well.
But that looks similar to what you're doing, or at least trying to do, when you have the...
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't do it all the time. I end up floating in the air sometimes. But even, like, you can still attack while you're floating in the air a little bit. But yeah, I need to work on that. That's probably the one thing I really need to get down. Because I know they broke it for a while, but...
Yeah, it was... yeah, and then all the Kannas were like, we can't do anything anymore, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how there's no end delay. With EXO, it looks like this.
Yeah, that feels very stressful to to have to play like that. I guess Kanna was on the easy mode for the longest time, where you just didn't really have to do that, and you could still perform very well, right?
First haunting hit and the rest.
What it should look like in a BA.
Either hang and have a split second in between the first, second, and third.
Keyboard overlay. Oh, that has the Does it have the inputs? Oh yeah, it has the inputs on when you're pressing the buttons. Yeah, so that you don't stay in the air too long, and then the Tengu is used to make sure that you can Vanquisher. No, not Vanquisher. Is it Shikigami Charm?
Exorcist Charm. Exorcist Charm is the float. Shikigami is your basic attack.
Yeah, so as I understand it, the Tengu is used to make sure that your Shikigami Charm gets faster and doesn't get as much end lag, and then you Exorcist Charm in there because it's just extra damage, and you can see the percentages. So 5%, and the total. Oh, Shikigami Hunting, of course, has 3 taps, which is very useful, but it's a lot of your damage. And
yeah, because it's technically like a 1-2-3 hit combo.
Yeah. It's not because it's like a first job, second job, third job kind of.
Oh, totally, definitely not.
Because it did start with the different colors, right?
Yeah, it's technically all the same skill. They just upgrade, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so part of it might be that, but I don't know how long you've been practicing Hard Lotus. I mean, it's definitely something that needs to get like better with time, with more practice. I know for me, Hard Lotus always felt a little bit dodgy and not like a guaranteed clear. Sometimes getting door and then some weeks dying out even with like a Kanna friend, until I started doing Black Mage, and then you basically turn everything up to like an 11 or a 12, whatever you want to, whatever your scale above the 10 looks like. And then going back to Lotus after that made Lotus just seem so easy. Like you had so much time to respond, and there was so little going on actually in comparison to like a Black Mage phase 3 run. And it's like, yeah, at this point, by comparison, it's so easy. But until I got to that point, Lotus always did feel a little bit scary to me too. I don't think that's a weird thing or anything.
Yeah, so I've been practicing maybe like probably around the start of Ignition. I would just like do my bosses, and then with the like 10 minutes I had left on my 30s, I just practice of Hard Lotus. So not super long, though I do like you were saying, like if you do something harder, like I mean I've done all the raids in Guild Wars 2 and like other games and stuff, so like
Mm-hmm.
it's not it's not intimidating in that sense. I don't know, I guess maybe I have to get lucky or whatever too, but I just feel, yeah, like I said, just the damage. I need to get stronger.
You
Even
feel
though I
like you
feel
do
like
a
I'm
whole burst and the bar like barely moves, kind of thing.
yeah, it moves like, maybe 10% kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
Yeah, that's also true. You can look at the percentages now. So if you're like calculating, okay, he has this much, I'm doing, you know, big burst every 3 minutes, and you have the desync with your final damage skill as well, right? Your goddess is on a 4 minute still, or do you kind of, because of the extra timing now, you use it on 3 and then kind of use it every 3 for a while, I guess, because of the 2 charges?
yeah, I just use it like if I'm about to use charm, I just check if it's up, and if it's not, then don't use it.
You just wait a little bit longer, yeah, okay. Because that scales up to quite a lot of final damage, right? So it makes more sense to wait than to pop it early.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course roars would sync up with your domain. That would be nice. But
Yeah, I don't have.
yeah,
I don't have roar.
Oz is that's a whole other thing. Yeah, because I'm kind of like
I-
trying to compare it. Like you're around the same. Because like my marksman is at 42k and my hero is at 46 or 47 or even 48 now. So that's a little bit over there. But the marksman is around like 40, 42. But yeah, you got to play to your strengths, because I have the puppet that I can use, and I'm at a 2 minute burst. But yeah, off burst marksman damage isn't like that crazy either. So it's about positioning and just making sure you don't die out in the in between, and then having everything ready. You have the longer binds though, right? So you can set up a little bit, have a little bit more time during the bursts to get everything off. But yeah, your ethereal form is definitely gonna come in clutch. How do you feel your ethereal form management is? You feel like you have it when you need it, or?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be times where you just luck out and don't have it, but yeah, it's not too bad.
And the other iframe, because it might be a matter of when you're still practicing and still trying to get better, of just saving your iframes purely for the survivability rather than trying to squeeze them in for damage.
You're talking about Great Only Lord? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't use that skill for damage. I use it when I need to iframe. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, blink can survive some things. Your charm for the knockdown. Yeah. I like dashing around him a lot for repositioning. But for you, that would be teleportation, right? To kind of
Yeah, I've been
in one
trying to
spot.
stay inside of the purple barrier to get the extra damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Does the pink berry help much, or would it make more sense to put 2 purples down?
It doesn't really help that much, but like I can have 3, and if I put them on a vein, then they're free anyways. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
bad.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm thinking it might make more sense to have more of the map covered with the blue one for just the extra damage, rather than to have too many pink ones that will, or purple, whatever the color is. Then the pink one, because it doesn't help with. Oh god, I have to think now. It doesn't help with demolishizers, right?
Yeah, it doesn't say that it helps with percentage attacks, so I don't think it does.
I want to say that it helps with the purple balls, because that's an attack from the boss itself. But if you're saying it doesn't help with percentage, then I'm not sure. But I thought it didn't help with Demolishizer because it was a map effect and not a skill from the boss itself. I thought that had something to do with it. That's how I always remembered it, but maybe some Kannas in the chat can confirm or deny that part. Because yeah, what I like to do is try to like keep him in one spot and just kind of like teleport around him, just on the rhythm of the stuff that's coming down. And if you're like doing like 1 attack weave or maybe 2 attack weaves in between every push, do you feel like you get pushed a lot? Are you okay with dodging those?
Generally, if I'm gonna get pushed, it'll be into the corner that I'm standing in anyway, so it's fine. It's just kind of a DPS loss, but
Yeah.
it's, I don't know. I just feel like I have to like do damage more than dodge, and like
Yeah, like every second
Maybe-
counts kind of thing.
Yeah, and maybe I die a little more often than I should. Like I feel like it's more the damage than the dodging. Like I
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice dodging for damage, but it's because I feel I have to. Otherwise, I'll literally just time out and it'll be a waste.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we can see if we can squeeze in any more damage in your account to make that better, because I mean, it doesn't seem like mechanically there's a whole lot that we can push on. I don't know if you've looked at like YouTube videos of other Kannas just soloing and doing the clear. I don't know if those exist.
I haven't. I imagine they do.
Something. Oh, 26k Kanna Hard Lotus with 4 seconds left in a reboot. That'll make you feel good.
Yeah, I know.
See what kind of things they're doing. We can see how quickly they get to phase 3, because it's pretty important. Yeah, they get there in 7 minutes.
Yeah, I think I get there around then. Yeah, maybe a little bit faster.
I think I've burst probably more than twice in the entire fight. Mechanics in this class is so terrible. Oh, I love when they downplay it like that. But then they know they're 26k and they know that's very impressive, and then
Yeah.
the main thing is talking about how bad they're doing it.
Oh yeah, it's humble brag.
For sure. Dancing around. They've got the barriers. I don't know how long ago this is, by the way. This could be October 15th. No, that's the recent changes one, right? So see how they.
Yeah, but the other thing too is that would be without the event buff, which I do have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 30 boss, 30 ID. I'm gonna lose in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Oh, they seem to be using. Oh no, they got all the guild skills. You've got all the guild skills as well, right?
Yep.
See any buffs here that you don't use, like the extra boss potions, MP?
Yeah, I'm not using all the
Uh,
consumables. The sparkling, the apple, I guess that's a
Yeah, the
advanced
candy apple.
int potion.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one. I think just the ones that give you like 29 or 30. Those are pretty useful to just build a stack of. Those last half an hour. They're very low on resources to maintain as well.
Yeah, I haven't done like any crafting. I need to figure out that.
Do you, for the weaving, doesn't the green? Oh yeah, the green pot is right there. Okay, I'm blind. And then he's using this instead of the blue pot, I guess. I don't know if there's like a interaction thing. These are like the old NLC ones, right? But you could use a Monster Park blue pot. But these can be pretty useful. Do you have like any of these or the access to crafting these?
Is that the like advanced blessing or something?
Yeah, the advanced boss rush, so that you can craft these with alchemy. That's what you need the Husop flower oils for. So you can make the regular ones and then upgrade them to the power ones. But like making the regular ones gives you 2, and then if you upgrade it, you can turn 1 into 2 again. So for every craft of a regular one, eventually you need to craft a total of 3 times, but then you get 4, and they last for 40 minutes with a 50-minute cooldown. Or you can use the red sparkling ones, right? Those do the same thing, but then they last for 2 hours and they don't have that cooldown. But that's mostly once you start doing more Tenebris and stuff, and then beyond, then they start really dropping.
Yeah, I have 69 sparkling blue and 66 sparkling reds.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you get a few of them a week, then it's a self-sustaining, and there's not much else you'd be probably using them for. So they could give you a nice little extra boost. But in this sense, it's 2020, and you're getting 30/30 from the event buff, right? So you can kind of call that even, I guess.
Yeah.
But we can kind of see how they're moving here. So they're doing the weaving. So he's doing the blink here. Yeah, and then whenever the push comes, you teleport behind. It's about finding that sweet spot. But the only reason I was saying that as well is like staying in the pocket is because you want to make sure that that blue ball is always right on top of it, right? You don't want to ever have that miss because that's just so much damage. And also, if you're further away from the boss, he's more likely to teleport as well, and then you lose a bunch of damage as well because he's just not hittable.
Yeah.
He's weaving. He's got his bound without Vanquisher by the looks of it. Oh, it's like the second apart because the domain is still up. Yeah, do that as well, like with that attack. Try to make sure that you teleport out of it like last minute. The purple ball timing is rather unfortunate. But I don't know if there's anything... where's the... Speed for that. Like that teleporting out, make sure that blue ball is always on top, yeah. Yuri even teleports even though you're so close, that's just, yeah. It just happens.
Yeah, Spirit Circle's pretty ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. But you see have 4 lives, 10 minutes in, and he's at 86%. So that could be like a little bit benchmark, I guess. But I don't know if you see this person's whole stats at some point. Oh, I see them at the beginning here. They might have some crazy fucking ridiculous stuff. But I imagine they have a bunch of experience with Hard Lotus, with a bunch of other characters that they do it on weekly with for like a year plus. That's why they're saying like my mechanics with this character aren't good here. Because they're just comparing it to another character where they can very easily like destroy it without even getting close to dying a single time, probably. Is what I'm guessing. So if you can take that experience with you, like imagine doing C-Vel like on your very first character versus on your 5th character, right? Like how much more easy it is. That really gives you that extra stat of just hands for your extra final damage. It does really help a lot because you can know exactly where can you take risk, where can you not take as much risk. You kind of look at their stats in the beginning, you kind of see. They got their mana at 10. I don't know. I think you have yours at 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you never feel like you get into trouble with that, so that wouldn't be a big difference maker for you.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I said, it's your mana balance is up generally when you need it. Again, even when I'm spamming Haunting and Tengu Strike, it's like it just doesn't get consumed fast enough.
Mm-hmm. 213 boss. It goes into 19. The regular damage percentage is higher. There might be a link skill difference. Yours is here because it's red. Is this buffed in domain or is that just from self buff stuff before from Haku buffing you?
Yeah, that was not even with what's it called? Warrior. That was just
okay.
Yeah, I get probably from Haku, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is a normal monster damage discrepancy, but other than that, I got the crit rate. Oh, their critical damage is quite a bit higher as well. You've got critical damage gloves?
Yes, 1 line.
Mm-hmm. So that was there's 20 higher. Because this is before the guild skill too, they're at 100. You've got all the legion blocks at level 200? The Shade, the Jet, the Hayato.
Yes.
Oh, this is maybe without decent sharp eyes on.
Yeah.
Decent sharp eyes is 8%, and then another line of 8% on the gloves. It probably has double, so it's 16. That'll bring you to 94. So then it's just 6% off, which could be. Oh, maybe they got real sharp eyes from someone. There's 1 minute left, and it's here. I wonder if we see their stats at the end. Might have some crazy familiars or something.
Yeah, my familiars are not too. Although I did recently get another boss damage one. Only 20%, but better than nothing.
Full Abzo. I don't know if that's a liberated weapon, but that looks like a.
Yeah, that does not look familiar.
That look a lot of magic attack. Just switching gear here. Ah, missed it by a fraction. They have Mesopotamine item drop rate and just damage to debuffed, so that's also not an invulnerability diff. And at least they're still on 100% critical damage here, so that might be, that's a pretty big multiplier, right? So that's something that we can definitely make sure to look at.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put that one here just to kind of keep track. Okay, we're at 30 minutes. Okay. Okay. Right, you got Meso. Yeah, invulnerability wise, that's just 7% damage to debuffed. But this base damage is also a bit higher, so almost 20% base damage, and then compared to here, 22% in critical damage. But that's 8 at least from Sharp Eyes, so that's still 14% difference. And there, yeah, he's only a 10 in the hypers as well. Okay, so maybe could be Link Skill and Legion a little bit, but it would have to be member bonus, but we excluded that, so I'm assuming Link Skill / Familiars, but where would he get 20% extra damage from with the same hyper stats? Well, we'll kind of look at the investigating. Put that here. Let's go investigate. Where can we squeeze in more damage? That's your main thing, by the way. Just trying to get that Hard Lotus clear, and then everything that comes after that. That's like your hurdle right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one thing I sort of am concerned about. Like, I've been doing Hard Lucid, and Will in a party for like 2 years now. I have everything. Like, it's just that, and then See Tenebrous party. But I need to learn like mechanics of that stuff, and I've watched some videos, but. I probably need to like get into a normal Tenebrous party and like practice a bit and get some clears and then move into
I did a Hard Lotus clear in about 10 minutes on my hero, and then I noticed I didn't have my guild skill on, and I was like, oh wow, I'm super strong, right? So I'll pop my guild skills and go do Gloom real quick, and then but I was level 250, and just level diff alone made Gloom just take forever, and I was like, yeah, never mind. I just left. This is gonna take forever. So you definitely want to start doing that in a party for sure. Yeah, but levels will start counting.
I could probably do normal Gloom solo, but it'd be a long fight as well.
Yeah, and that's purely a matter of like, do you are you do you want this evil in your life kind of thing? So people are like, why aren't you doing the hard dark now? I'm like, well, I just don't want to get AIDS today, so I'm just gonna do normal,
I mean for the longest time I was just kind of like, do I even want to do See Tenebrous? It just sounds like cancer. So I kind of Legion main, but now I'm at the point where I have a weekly bosser every day of the week, so I'm like, okay, might as well actually main something now.
You do daily weeklies, and you've got like almost a handful of 250s now as well, right? You got the 4th one is coming real close, the Arc.
Yeah.
And then the Blade Master is already in his 230s. I mean, you're getting at this stage as well where you get those level up potions here and there, so they just, just participating in events, suddenly you have another 240 that you didn't even train. You're like, oh, never mind, start. Yeah. They just creep up on you, kind of.
Yeah. I used this event. I used one on the Adele to get it to 250. I just actually used one on the Kanna. I'm now 255, and then the 3rd one will probably go on my Arc to get him to 245 to get him to Moonbridge.
Oh right, yeah, that's the Moonbridge gap, of course. Yeah. Okay.
And I reduce all the dailies too. My Arc is almost done. He's like 20, 20, 20, 19, 18, 18.
Okay, nice. Dailies and Legion main for too long, so.
Yeah, my Kanna and my Adele are both all maxed, and then my Dawn Warrior is my Hyperburn, so obviously that's like 12 and 13.
Yeah, not quite maxed yet. Yeah, that hasn't had enough. It's like a baby, a little baby in disguise.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if there's any glaring stuff we can move on. So we got 60 boss, and you have any ID familiars or none whatsoever?
I have 2 15s.
Just 15s, okay. Because I
Yeah.
notice
And
your
then
ID is pretty high. So
yeah, I look at my weapon.
So your WSE is okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and this is kind of the invisible damage, right? That we can't really see in the stat window, because there's a
Yeah.
whole lot of magic attack there being lost, and especially as a Kanna, you have an enormous amount of magic attack, right? Because of your scaling of HP and MP as well, you just got a giant pile. So percentage, especially because you're tier 7 on your weapon, any percentage lines missing is going to make a huge difference.
Right.
And even at this stage where you are at with 21 star arcanes, you're also looking towards even like 3-lining your emblem. So the point might become, like noticing that, to start squeezing out every little bit of ID you can from every other source, perhaps even from your emblem, seeing that as a secondary out, to try to relieve your weapon off of needing all that IED. Because if it was 1 line, wouldn't be too bad, but the 2 line is really that's break-in. Because you saw the difference, right, with the guy here, like his main stat in the beginning before, I think it was at 94 IED or 95.5, but you're at like 97, right? And you do get final damage from that, definitely, and that's very nice. But you want to be at that like kind of IED when you're like doing Saren, on top of already having as much magic attack as you can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an opportunity cost of having a magic attack line. It gives damage, but not as much.
Yeah, because if you could have like 40.99 on the emblem and a 13.10.10, something like that on the weapon instead, you'd definitely be quite a bit lower on the IED. But we can supplement that with some of the other stuff to kind of cushion the blow. But on the flip side, you'd have just way more power coming in. And right now your range looks a little fake because it's not like easily 50% more than this guy, because this guy, and that's why the magic attack stat coming, right, in Neo, I think they're going to add that in your stat window, so you can just see how much total magic attack you have. That'll be a very, very big indicator, because it's possible that this guy just has like 700-800 magic attack more, and then suddenly that paints a whole different picture.
Yeah, he probably does, because it does look like his weapon is Genesis.
Yeah, it really looked like they threw some money at that, or maybe an anvil one is possible. But even if it's just a strong Umbra with 3-line attack, that makes a huge difference. Okay, so how do we go about this strategically? Because we got the pictures. So fam-wise, so it would be cool, from what I heard, definitely for Kannas, if you have at least one large drop IED. One large IED for the bossing setup. So if you can hit a 30 or it goes up to 40, right? 30, 35, or 40 IED blob, and having 2 boss and 1 IED. That's, from what I understand, basically standard for Kannas. Or you'd have to have a 3rd boss and then keep your weapon and full 3-line magic attack on the emblem, but then you'd still be missing out technically because of the extra % on the weapon. So you could definitely, like in order of operations, I would definitely redo the emblem first and then see what you hit, and then based on that hit, look at what are your options for your weapon. Because let's say that you roll something really weird on your emblem, like a 40 and 30 IED and a 12 magic attack or something like that. Like really weird. That could also be not quite perfect for you right now, but that would give you like carte blanche to fully reroll the weapon. And then if the weapon rolls, I don't know, something like 13, 30 or something, then you can redo the emblem again, right? But at least every single time you're edging closer and closer to what is that optimal final situation. And every single time you do that, you give yourself more outs, and so the average cost goes down of making an upgrade.
So because of the magic attack scaling on my huge base, I don't want boss damage then.
In your WSE, well, yeah, that's the other thing, is that the secondary also has another line technically, right, that it can get to for magic attack, but that's of course a really rough one to get to because you have no other outs there. So typically we keep that, and secondary has just on average the same, well, for you the same lines as your main weapon, which is not great. So that average cost is really high. I think most people run with 2 lines of magic attack on and 1 line of either int or damage as a 3rd line for quite a long time, or until they liberate, and then they just take their main 3-line magic attack weapon and then throw that into their Kanna, into their Haku. I mean, and then and then wear the lib. Yeah, most of the time, yeah, that means no boss damage there. Yeah. And then it comes from FAMs, from Legion, Lynx, and from Grid, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, my familiar luck is complete garbage. I still don't have a single
It's pretty nice.
large.
I mean, oh, no large drop?
I have no large drop on my entire account.
Oh, wow. That's unfortunate. But at least you have some boss, you know? Like, that's... Could be worse. You could not have those as well, because I don't know if you looked at the rates, like the weight for the percentages for things to occur and everything. It's really bad. So but yeah, not having any large drop, that sucks quite a bit, especially for the long term. You know, for like drop chance of pitched and all of that. It's like 40% drop.
It's funny
you don't
too,
have
like
access to.
Like all of my characters have large meso drop, and none of them have large.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, I think most of my characters would have like 2 or 3 or even 4 like large meso drop before you even saw a large item drop. Just, you know, they just wanted to rub it in, you know. Okay, so I think that's the overarching thing, but we'll see if we find any other... Yeah, I don't know if you've min-maxed on your badges at all. I guess you're...
I just kind of threw in
magic
the big
attack.
ones.
Magic percentage... Yeah, because I've got the thingies with like the scaling and everything as well. Right? Oh, not the scaling, sorry. Like with the stacking on how high it can get and everything. Oh yeah, here. Because magic attack can go up to 3. Yeah, one of them is pretty hard, right? You need like the Seraph kill, so you basically want to go for booster packs, which you don't want to do if you're making fam still. So that's kind of an annoying resource. But yeah, 3%, and then damage can go up to 3, and then you have, but you probably want to get the IED up to 15. So this will be 5, and then 3 of these is 8, and then you have 2 damage percentages left for optimization, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the area that you're in, right? It's that and like optimizing your pots, basically. At least from what I've seen so far. Because we're looking for magic attack, right? We're like trying to squeeze as much magic attack we can out of this business. Because right now you have 1 in percentage magic attack, 2 in percentage damage, and then in the ID as well, right? Because if we're taking the ID out of your weapon, you're also gonna need to get as much from other sources as possible. So trying to get as much ID here.
I have 3% IED from something.
From something?
Oh, from minimal batch.
Wait, am I blind? Can I not see it? Or do you have...
It scrolls down, yeah.
Oh, it scrolls down. Yeah, okay. Well, that explains why why I couldn't see it. From the mineral? Yeah, that's a pretty easy one. And the other one is the... from the Temple of Time, the 3 mini-bosses.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a farm, but that one is... Yeah, I believe that's the...
Yeah.
Name. And then... What else do we have? Dragon Badge? No thanks. At least I don't think you're going to be getting these guys, right?
Is that even obtainable?
Is that still in the game chat? You definitely can get them from booster packs. I got one recently. This guy. I got the Sondal guy. But, everything...
Like, I don't even know what area that is.
It's in, like, in Dojo. There's, like, a quest line where you have to, like, go and fight them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always been booster pack only? You gotcha, okay, yeah. Yeah, you can fight them up to, like, 10 times a day or something for some weird stat. Yeah, time badge. Time badge should be doable. The cloud badge? Yeah, there's quite some bosses in here as well. But a lot of this will be booster packing. There's a Master Dummy in here. And then the Lord Pirate, King Sage Cat, and Teyrune. And then the rest is just regular monsters. That's another IED one. And then... Oh, the Toy Badge. I think that only has 2 bosses. Rombot. And Alishar. And Timer, yeah.
I have Timer, actually. I got it from a booster.
You have Timer, nice, yeah. So just Alishar and Rumba, and the rest is just regular world monsters.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then the mineral badge is the one you have. I think there are only 5 in total, so might end up with 12. With the 12, 3/3 then stacked, right? 12, then 3 damage, 3. Although one of the damage isn't one of the damage Lotus. Yeah, maybe I don't know if there's 3 other ones than that. The Ocean badge is easy. That's crit and damage. You definitely want that one. And then the Void is percentage magic attack and magic attack. Yeah. And then Labyrinth badge is all stat and damage, so you definitely have that. So then you're already at 2% damage. So you need to see where we get that third one.
Yeah. It's a shame Apocalypse badge doesn't give me anything.
Yeah.
Fucking 1% attack and 2 attack.
Yeah, well, then, but every physical attacker is like, it's a shame the Void badge doesn't give me anything, so it's on the other... It would be more fair if the Line badge gave like 1% attack, 1% magic attack or something, because that one's really easy. But then the counter to that is the not the wave. Oh yeah, is the wave badge. Yeah, but then you need Seraph from a booster pack from that, because apparently the Seraph drop rate is just horrendous. So you can't rely on that whatsoever. Shuriken badges percentage. Shrine badges. This one might not be too bad. You can actually... I think you still have those monsters in the game. But who knows at this point. Yakuza boss, so this one will be rough. There's a lot with 1% damage though. So that should be findable.
Yeah, and if I'm going 4 or 5 ID and then 3 magic, I won't have much room left for damage anyways.
Oh yeah, because you have 8. I keep thinking 10, but you need 10 badges for the 3 slots, but you can only equip...
8 of them, yeah.
The beach badge is 1%, but all of these most of these monsters are like not in the game. You got the Clang, the Torty, the Lorang, so that's all. Oh no, it's just these 3, but these 3 are all booster pack only as well. But yeah, so there's some definitely some ID there to clap. Maybe I should just do exclamation mark ID and just start with a list. Maybe that'll be a little bit more structured. Let's do that. I was gonna say ambition. How's your ambition? Ambition maxed? Probably, right? Because you have an old character, yeah.
Yeah, everything except diligence is maxed.
Monster Parker?
Yep. I have that on 6 characters, maybe 7.
Okay. Diligent with the diligence as well as ambition. I like it. Set bonuses. Yeah, Superior Gollux, obviously. And then you have 5 set Arcane?
Yes.
And there's that meme with 6 set Arcane, if you looked into that at all, if that makes any sense for you, or...
No, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about memeing.
Okay.
5.
Because for Kanna it was like a maybe because of the percentage HP and MP and and the scaling, but I don't know to which extent that's the thing that Kanna's deal with. That might be like a Kanna Discord question to see like, is this something we do? In which situation would we do it? Something like that. There's someone in the chat.
20 magic attack for 20% HP.
Yeah, because if you have a whole lot of magic attack, then individually the magic attack loses a little bit of its value compared to having a lot of HP MP. Because that's another thing when you get very far into the game and people start thinking about like decent combat orders and stuff in their matrix kind of thing for damage. That's once you get to that point, then it's kind of out of my realm of expertise as well, because you get into like Kannas into the late 260s and into the 270s, and the kind of problems you deal with at that point becomes something that I personally haven't quite gotten to the point yet, because I was always I never had like a Kanna as like a farmer as a side character, right? So I know from the sidelines that there was a lot of ups and downs for sure. What else IED wise? We have the title. I don't know if there's an IED title right now. Well, you don't have the no, the pink bean one only has percentage boss. That's very temporary anyway. Legion
I
members.
use the Root Abyss Master, which has
It's 5%?
Oh, it has 5%. Yeah.
based. We take those. I mean, but also because you're at 90, we were in 97.5. So if you take a 40% out, if you're at 95 and you have a 40%, then you go to 97. Yeah. So if you take out a 40% line, being at 97.5, you're still over 95%. You're probably at 95.6 or something if you take one whole 40% line out.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting here right now without link skills, which would be the 20%, and I'm at 95.59.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't have familiars on the. Well, familiars don't have ID.
115% line, yeah.
Yeah,
Hyperstats,
maybe.
Yeah. And hyperstats you're at 10s and 11s, and that's just. I mean, I guess you kind of just bring that up evenly. Legion Grid was maxed. Soul weapon buff. What is your soul buff?
3% magic attack.
3% magic. Okay. We could squeeze in like a 15% IED. That would be nice, but they don't go quite that high though. And then WC potentially, that's a big one. Because just going to different debuffs. Yeah, you don't have any passive as a Kanna either. That sort of sucks a little bit. Boost potions, links. Yeah, so the sparkle potion or the ID potion, if you have that, plus you have a big ID on a familiar instead, plus you can get ID on your emblem instead, meaning you lose basically nothing compared to now, right? But then you can get 1 or 2 extra line of magic attack compared to now with the weapon, and then eventually another one on the secondary once you move over into liberation and all that memes. Those extra lines of percentage magic attack compared to now, that's going to make a huge impact for sure. Passive hypers, guild skills, yeah, you're using all of those. Okay, so nothing crazy that we overlooked. And crit, I still want to check out the crit damage wise though, because I'm still kind of, unless that guy hit like a triple crit damage on his gloves. Are any Kannas in the chat? What kind of crit damage are you guys rocking without the guild skills? Hyper stats, you had the guys at the same. Grid bonus, you guys had it. You have it max, so you can't go higher. Member bonus, you have all 3 of them in there, right?
Yeah. Let me just check.
I see one of them already. Increases critical damage.
Yeah, crit damage plus. Where's crit damage?
Should we have the Hayato
1, 2, and. Do I not have the third one in?
One is called increases critical damage, so you might have read over it.
Oh, yeah, okay, I have all 3 then.
So over the top, yeah. Yeah, because, you know, that's probably the jet or something. They had to just name it differently.
Yeah, it is jet. You're right.
And I guess link skill-wise, you use the... let's see, do you have a picture with, like, which link skills you use when you're at that point?
Yep.
Yep. Just open tab. Yeah, you've got the judgment in there. You've got almost all the level 3s. Or all of them, actually. Oh, yeah.
I think the only level 3 I'm missing is Kaiser. But that's not good.
Yeah, do you know where that ranks, kind of? I imagine even for Kanna, it probably makes like number 14 or 15, probably. Probably not top 12. Link skill is always a kind of my weakness, so I'll have to double check for the visual confirmation. Because the Noble Fire is mainly for full partying, right? For the damage.
Yeah.
But you've got the Cadena, you've got the Solus. Especially if you have familiars with all the boss damage, then, well, especially after you switch to weapons, it could also be a thing of just planting in one of the 10% IEDs or something, right? Instead of like 6% damage, that might also increase your damage quite a bit then, once the 40% lines are gone. You've got the Judgment. Using terms and conditions. Yeah, when it comes to Thieves' Cunning and stuff like that, that might be something you can try out to see if that helps you. But it's
Yeah.
a little bit, it's got a little bit of that RNG versus the more stable damage of always being active on Noble Fire. But I'm still in the back of my mind thinking of like, where's that extra like 20% damage coming from? Because the other guy wasn't like he wasn't stacked, like he wasn't teleporting around with his
Lumi,
with Lumi or with the Arc or anything like that.
or Ilium, sorry, not Lumi.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm missing. They're too similar. Too many of the same letters in the beginning there. You're asking for confusion. Yeah, I see no stacks like that. So I'm wondering why there's 20% more damage. And it's still some more critical damage as well. When you guys are around the same hyperstats. Where can we find that difference? Any suggestions from chat? Anything you guys can think of? Critical damage. Pitch black accessory set bonus. Oh, you think he had some pitch set going on?
Possible.
It's possible, right? No, I think you see the equips at the end. No pitch.
Yes.
Doesn't even have a heart.
Oof.
One piece arcane. I can think I'm 2-head P. Okay. Oh, the craftsman skill. Yeah, that's another thing you can. The smithing skill.
Yeah,
but
that's like
mhm.
4 crit damage, right?
5 on level 2. So like 2 on level 1, 5 on level 2. And,
And that's like you have
2
to like
whetstones.
craft something or something like that.
Yeah, the ingredients, the whetstones, and then the level 1 skill consumes 1, and the level 2 skill consumes 2. But it also lasts for 40 minutes with the 50-minute cooldown, so like similar cooldown to the boss rush one. So if you're already really high on IED, you can use that instead of the IED one, which you could do. And then once you redo your weapon, you'll like switch it out for the IED potion instead to make the difference. Using sharp eyes, Oz crit. Yeah, that's not a thing either. Damn, why is the difference so high on the crit damage? I kind of want to see if that guy has a triple crit damage glove, because that's like the only thing I can think of right now that would like explain that big difference.
Yeah.
Or maybe was there an event skill that gave critical damage in October? But I don't see an event buff on. So it'd have to come from a passive in the start window. He's still at 100 here. It's a lot of arcanes. Of course, no drops. To open hair event, yeah, was that in October? Because that could have made up difference for some of the percent damage, maybe, and the crit. If there was like a double, there was like a double dipping in events for a bit, right? That could also be why suddenly you could do it at 26k, because you're essentially getting like 4 or 5k stat from an event that's going on.
Yeah.
Using guild skills. He was, but they're gone here. Oh wait, did he not have?
They probably
phases?
just ran out because he only had.
Oh, it was 30
seconds
minutes.
left.
Yeah. They ran out at the end. Yeah, but he still had 100% here. He did a 30-minute run, so he had the guild skills until almost. Like here, he has 20 seconds left. He kills with 4 seconds left, and then guild skills run out right there.
I feel like even if I can kill it in like 29 minutes, I don't want to do that every week.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. When I was at that point, I just looked for someone else who was in a similar situation, and we just duoed. Because of Kanna and domain and everything, you really have a 1+1 equals 3 kind of situation. So you could just do Lotus and Damien very comfortably within like a half-hour session. And, you get to hang out with someone on a weekly basis. And it's kind of fun as well to not have to be as try-hard.
Yeah. I thought about it. I thought about trying to find a duo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't like people.
You don't like any people? Just none of them?
I'm pretty antisocial, but yeah, I mean,
Anyone in chat also just hate people, want a duo? So you could just talk about how shit people are while you're running this boss. I don't know, maybe that works. Okay, I still wanna investigate because all this stuff. Okay, still gonna go through more of this stuff. But by the way, did you have any other questions or any things that we want to make sure that we also kind of address?
Not super. Like I said, I'm sort of thinking about C Tenebris. There was one thing. What was I gonna say? Oh, training map in Limina. What do you think?
Training map in Limina. Well, you have the benefit of the summons, and you have the fountain now.
Yep.
So I would
Yeah,
pick,
I've been
pretty...
doing 1-7, and honestly, I'm bored because I just stand there and like Exorcist Charm.
Yeah, and you full map clear. There's like nothing getting by you. How many monsters is that an hour?
I haven't done a BA. It's probably fine. I just, I think one of my Lucid Will people mentioned in the tower, I think it was 2 or 3, the really tall
Yeah.
map. I haven't checked it out yet.
Because that's the only other thing I'm thinking of, because that's where you have, in general, more platforms means more spawn locations, means more potential monster kills per hour. So if you're capping out and actually have time to look around, the only way to really scale it past is just more monster kills. Because when I'm thinking of... Yeah.
Same time, I looked up the number of monsters per map, and like even in the tower maps, they're still like 32, 33, 34. Like it's all pretty similar.
Yeah.
I think 1-7 and 2-6 were both like maybe one off one of the tower maps.
Yeah, is that
like
close?
I think. I mean, assuming they're correct.
Did I just spawn? Yeah. Got like a weird resource for that somebody linked to me. It's like all in fucking Korean. Translated.
Yeah, there was a post on Reddit that someone put for like post ignition spawn from Celis and above.
Okay. It's probably this one. Limina. Index 34. So you're doing one... Oh, there's 1-8 here. That's 34. These are the highest ones.
Yeah, and the other thing too is because 1-7 they're powerful. So like, if I go to a even easier map, then won't they give less experience?
Yeah, less experience each. That's definitely true. But that's where the BA does come in. Where if you do the same, if you do a BA like at least 15 minutes, right? So you get your totem rotation in there. Sorry, your rune rotation in there. If you do that for a few of the maps, and you can really tell.
Yeah, I mean, I just hit 255 like
35
2 days ago. I did it on my Dawn Warrior a bit, and I found like most of lab is kind of the same. But yeah.
Yeah, that's... I think for some people, lab might end up being better because of burn, and map burn is actually a huge thing, especially if you don't have like endless access to coupons.
Yeah, I mean, the maps I was training in lab were like sometimes up to 60, but even like I found a couple 1-7s that were like 40.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's probably not normal, but yeah.
It depends if it's like right after maintenance or something like that.
No, this was like after reset, like random. Like usually I'll do like right after reset the 30 minutes for the event experience buff. I'll just do 15 to 30 minutes there with coupons.
Yeah, once you get to this point, it gets pretty class specific because of summons and map clear and all that stuff. I don't know if you've been in like the Kanna class Discord. Is that like a discussion that's going on at all there, or?
I'm sure. Like I'm in the Discord. I looked up what they recommended. I haven't talked to people, as mentioned. I hate people.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Like I wouldn't. It was more just asking if you knew. But yeah, if it's like I said,
I haven't heard one.
Looks like it's all pretty similar.
Yeah, exactly.
I
It doesn't
think,
seem like there's a huge. I think one of the main
yeah,
things
on
that
it.
they've been doing is trying to equalize the maps more so that people can train pretty much everywhere, just so that burn goes down a little bit more
Yeah,
evenly and we don't create like huge
yeah.
bottlenecks.
I think too, like the pinned post in the Kanna Discord is
Hmm.
like 1-3, 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, 1-7, 2-4, 2-5, 2-6. Like it's all of them. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, well, that's the benefit of having the summons, and to an
Yeah, you can
extent,
just
it's
kind of.
also like you don't have to worry as much as where do I train, because it's just if it's free and it's got burn, then go for it,
Yeah.
and then you kind of have the blessing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just feel like, especially without having flash jump. Like, I mean, I train Adele and Dawn Warrior, and it's like
Hmm.
it's a good rhythm. Whereas on my Kana, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stand here and use
Yeah, you're just
charm and
exorcist
then
charming. Yeah.
domain and go loot. It's it's kind of boring. Just like
Well,
I'm just
that's
like,
yeah.
oh.
I mean, some people love that, right? They love the fact that they can just catch up on like audiobooks and watch all their Netflix shows and watch anime at the same time, and then get rich and get gains.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
for me, that's why I
I mean,
couldn't play Adele as much, because Adele just felt too much just like jump attack, jump attack, jump attack, jump attack, and it was a little
Yep.
bit too straightforward for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta have a balance, I think, right? Some more complicated characters, some more standard.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
end of the day, I'm like training 15 to 30 minutes a day, anyways, because I
yeah,
do like dailies on 5 characters every day. So
yeah, that'll take up some time. Yeah.
yeah. Plus, I play like 6 games, which is down from like 9 like 6 months ago.
Oh god, I was there at some point where you just like some games you just log in, do something for like 5 to 10 minutes, go on to the next one. One of them runs in the background all the time, and it's like,
Oh yeah, it's funny actually. One of the games I stopped playing is literally because when I upgraded my computer over Black Friday sales,
mm-hmm.
um,
You just couldn't log back
uh,
in, or
yeah, BlueStacks just doesn't work anymore, and
like,
yeah,
oh,
so I'm just
I
like,
guess
all
I'm
right,
not playing that
whatever.
one anymore. Yeah, but then at that point, you realize how little you were actually invested, because it's like,
Oh, for sure. I mean, I remember I was even thinking about it like a week later. I was like, I haven't even thought about that game, and I used to literally have it on 24/7,
yeah,
just like autoing, whatever. It was one of those. It wasn't quite an idle game, but it was, it's kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
the one
like a
you
browser
play.
game.
No, it was a mobile game. It's like Raid, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
just kind of send your guys into a dungeon for like 3 hours, and
Yeah,
you'll get stuff.
yeah, yeah.
It was Shin Megami Tensei actually, DX2.
Okay, yeah. Well, then you really see how they can just keep you busy.
Yep. Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
but I had that one moment where I was like playing 6 or 7 games, like at any given time during out a day. I was like, well, this is only like 10 minutes. This is only a half an hour. This is only like an hour. But then I added everything up, and it's like, this is my whole day. I need to cut some things down, because it's not
Oh yeah, for
not
sure.
making
Like
sense.
I literally like in my personal spreadsheet I have like from like 6 a.m. till 11 p.m. blocked off with like all the games I was playing. Like I did my wife hates me. So
Well, you hate her
need
too,
to
because
find-
she's a person, right? So it's a perfect match.
don't tell her.
Okay, okay. She might already know. She is married to you after all, so
Yeah,
it's
we've been
possible.
together. Fucking jeez.
Oh, wait, he's counting. He's going like, 1, 2, 6.
Yeah, I'm
Add
gonna say
carry the
12
corona.
or 13 years. We've been together since university.
Oh, the whole time. Oh yeah, you got in early. That's good. Now they're just stuck. Now they can't they can't go away.
I don't want to go into it, but I wouldn't say that.
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to scroll through stuff. What was the other question? Oh yeah, that was the other question. Was like the training, where to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you do, yeah, I don't know. If you're like super bored, if there are other maps that are a little bit more moving around, but ideally, if you can get to a point where you don't have to move around too much, that means you're like optimal in the. Well, you have 7 seconds, so you could be doing some moving.
Yeah.
So you'd be looking at something like someone's on the extreme left of the map, someone's on the extreme right of the map, or like all the way on the top, all the way on the bottom, and then you move around a little bit in the middle. I assume that's what you would be doing in those very tall maps in Limina.
Yeah, so like for 1-7, I'll put Kishin on the floor. I put Boss on the kind of middle platform facing the left. and then there's like 2 little tiny platforms underneath on the right that I put fountain, and then I just stand on the top right where there's like 3 platforms with like, I don't know, 12 or 13 mobs that I just...
Perfect spacing.
Yeah.
Just get obliterated.
Yep, and then with domain on top of that, it's like, I don't even know, like when I drop domain, I'm like, okay, I don't even need fountain anymore.
Yeah, and the boss every now and then, right? The whole...
Yeah, you cycle
periodically.
basically domain, then boss, then I'll use like will skill plus what's the fox skill called? Ninetales.
Oh, the Ninetales.
Which
yeah.
actually, I was kind of mad when they changed it from like a 40-second cooldown to a 2-minute cooldown. I'm like, yo, I use that to map clear. What the hell?
Oh yeah, that was one of your additional. That might have been it. He's got the fox on in here. That gives extra percentage damage, right?
Yeah, I use that for sure.
Yeah, but maybe in the screenshot you didn't have it on.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why his percentage
true,
damage
yeah.
is higher.
Yeah, it gives 20% damage. Yeah.
Yes. See, I knew it was 20%. Okay, that's one piece. We're still down 22%. Oh yeah, and the critical damage was most likely because of the overlap of the skills, right? Of the event skills that were going on at the time, plus the sharp eyes, plus a lot of critical damage.
I do remember, yeah, there was some crit damage in those sort of in between events.
Yep. Yeah, I know, because we were looking at, because there was 2. There was the Tobin, and then there was something else that started.
Yeah, something like haste or something, because that would have been after the carnival, right? And I don't think carnival had crit damage anyways. I think it was like ignition. It had just, boss ID, normal damage.
There was some critical damage somewhere, because it's pretty rare to get critical damage.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
when it was
I
there,
think
there was like, ooh.
I think it was Tobin.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
If that was 5, and then an 8 and an 8 and a 16 and a 21. Yeah, and then he just has like 1% more in the hyper stat probably, and then boom, you have your 22% difference. Okay, so at least those 2 mysteries are solved. For my own peace of mind and for everyone in the chat who's super engaged, or everyone in the video is like, where is the difference coming from? At least we figured those out. Okay, let me close these things that we don't need here. But yeah, min-maxing, IED, redoing the weapon, squeezing out, hopefully a big IED familiar. Now you have twice the outs, okay? So you just doubled your chances of hitting something nice. If you can hit a 40 IED, I think that's what most Kannas definitely want, to take the pressure off the other things. We do the emblem first, but there might be some other stuff to redo before the emblem, because I saw that, I think your potentials, because you're doing 121 at a time, or did your shoe just not go from like 19 to 21, or from...
I didn't have a backup during Shining, so I didn't touch it.
Yeah.
The fan went fine. I think, I can't remember how much it was. I had kind of like during Shining it was like I got 5 items to 21, but then like I got 4 items that boomed like first try 19 or 20 stars. Like I boomed 2 Golix pendants first try 19 to 20, and then it went to 21. So like, yeah. So the fan, I did get to 19 finally, and then it boomed immediately. And then
well, you did the
17,
pendants
then...
19 to 20. You didn't transfer them over, or did you have like
really
really
good
good
just
pot? Or
I mean, I have like a million backups, so I was just like,
okay.
Fuck it.
Yeah, if it's a really old character, you got like thousands. Yeah, I get it. Oh,
yeah, this character
back in the day when you could get it as drops, even you had.
It's not that old. This character I created during Awake, like just before.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
So like November 2020 kind of thing. So like 2.5 years.
Okay.
But yeah, I have a screenshot of my inventory. I have like 12 belts and 9 earrings and 2 pendants.
A whole lot of green. The other type of green, but yeah. But you weren't one of those Kannas who got like 16 weapon backups, so you could just endlessly tap.
No, I just have the 2.
Okay.
And that one in the screenshot you're pointing at is the fake arcane from the flame fiasco.
the fiasco, the debacle, yeah. That was a interesting time. Okay, the earrings and everything. Don't put sweats. But you're making good money though with where your characters are at, right? Your boss meals are at.
Yeah, it's with UBI and Monster Tour, Maple Tour. It's like over 10 bill a week. Like I think it was like 96 bill for Shining, and I'm probably gonna have roughly the same, actually probably more for next Shining, because
You're doing piggy banks and everything.
Yeah, I've been doing one piggy bank a month.
Okay.
And then also, my hero does some bossing, like it's like a 700 mil kind of thing, like just do CRA.
Okay. I mean, that's a decent amount. That's another
Yep.
3 bill every month, so. Okay. Yeah, because, I mean, yeah, for giant star forcing events, you're just waiting for the really big ones. Other than that, like a cube sale could be nice for you, but in general, it's I think it's mainly cubing and fixing your IED puzzle when it comes to damage. Most of these pots are okay, but yeah, it's definitely your emblem and your yeah, maybe mathematically, it's probably making sure that your accessories are all 3-line first. That's probably mathematically the best gain for you. So maybe something higher on the top and the hat, but I hate CRA, so I'm okay with you if you leave that a little bit later. But like the earring, probably trying to get at least another 6 to 9% there. That's probably mathematically the next move for cubing, and then it'll be the emblem, and then depending on what you get on the emblem, it'll be the weapon after that.
Yeah.
And then if you want to get that extra double drop on another accessory or something, that's whatever.
Yeah, if I ever get another slime ring too, I have to do that. Like literally, I got the Kanna treasure to 22. I transferred it over to Superior Gauss, and then to Guardian Angel to 20 stars. I tapped it twice and it boomed. I was like,
yeah.
And then when I did my Adele's one, I'm like, okay, my Adele's happy with 20 stars. That's fine.
Yeah, I got like 3. Well, yeah, I got 3 characters on the 20-star slime. Yeah, I'm super safe there. I'm okay. On my main, I tried to 22, and it went on the first one, and then the other ones are just sitting at 20. I'm like, I'm not tempting fate. This is...
Yeah.
I know it's not going, so I'm not risking it.
I might even just do 22-star Superior and then transfer over to get 21 and be fine. Since I
I mean, if you've got like thousands of coins, then why not?
Yeah, I have like 5,000 or something.
Yeah, that's quite a nice margin. You got double drop on a awakening, double miss on a toilet mark. Yeah, the equip pieces themselves. This is what you're equipping, right? So it's like these, and then the full arcane, and then these are your fill up accessories. So
that's all damage. The drop in Mesa is all in that one picture.
Yeah, transpose. Oh yeah, so the monocle would have an extra line as well, right? So that would be like on par with the earring for rolling, and then the pendant as well.
Yeah, Sweetwater's going to 21 next Shining. I'm doing Commercy again.
Massively trading.
Yeah, I'm up to 700 because I was doing it on my Adele, and I'm like, probably not gonna go 21 anytime soon on her. So I should probably start doing it on Kanna again.
Move the time over a little bit. Oh, you got the 21 Kanna treasure with the drop and mezzo. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I've re-rolled that. That's now 2-line int.
21%. Okay. Yeah, you're getting to the point where a drop and mezzo combination is just like that just happens.
Yeah,
that's not something to lose sleep over.
Yeah, I mean, I was training with 231, 1244, but now I'm 211, 1244. So.
Yeah, no, that is quite nice. Yeah, I guess So that would be together with the earrings, like until Shining. Scrolling wise, like getting the 2.5 line. Or more, of course, but like what the Vengeful Ring has as a potential, that would be nice, of course, or the Tenebris Ring, but in general, just anything, 2.5 line on all the accessories, and then it'll be emblem time. But yeah, you have to kind of pace yourself on how hard you want to be able to go.
Yeah, I should also probably get either a Meister or a Reinforced Ring, right, to replace the event. Like, if I'm going 21 stars, I might as well, because 21's way better than the event ring. Yeah,
you have the coins. How's the resources for Meister looking? Because
I think that's the blue rock from Arc, right? That's
the Primal Essence. Yeah, that's usually the bottleneck. Yeah.
I think I have. I can't find them. I put them on a character.
Oh boy.
I think I have a handful, like 6 or 7. I started doing Arc 5 times a day now, so I should hopefully find a couple more.
Yeah, that's the way to scale it. Yeah, get some drop rate, multiple characters, and then yeah.
Yeah, they're all around 200-ish. So I
Mhm.
found one, I think, last week, which is nice.
Yeah, they look so pretty. I mean, they're 10 mil each, which is like, that feels like a lot. But then if you have 100,
Yeah.
it's one bill. It's like, well, then it suddenly doesn't feel like that much. Because if you rather have
Yeah,
one
that's
bill
like
or
2
100
years.
primals, it's like, I'll take 100 primals. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done any like crafting like at all. Like
Mhm.
most of my characters that I actually play remotely are like max level 10 on all the things, but that's just from doing like this.
Rudibus? Yeah, just the ticket, spamming the
I
tickets.
remember a couple of months ago someone asked what's the fastest way to level 10. You're like, just use 10 Rudibus scrolls
Yeah.
or tickets, whatever.
Or yeah, they probably asked like, what's the easiest? I was like, well, the easiest is just run normal Rudibus and hard Rudibus for like 3 years, and then you'll have it. No worries. It's not that long. You could
No, it's
definitely
it's
like
probably,
within a year. It's probably doable.
Yeah, because I do daily. Well, I do Queen and Vellum for the souls and Magnus.
Oh yeah, that'll increase that quite a bit as well. Yeah, you want to end up with superior Kanna treasure, and then reinforced ore Meister, and then the
Or slime too, if I get another slime.
Yeah. We eventually want to go towards slime, and since you're good on the resources with the... you kind of want to... Here's the main thing you want to think about with the Gollux. You have a lot of that, which means that opens up the door, especially for reinforced, quite well. Which means that you could not go as hard on the primals, which means you can use the primals basically as transferable reinforced, right? For other characters that you haven't been doing Gollux for so long with. So if you find another character that you want to go very far with, there the fourth ring can then be Meisters instead, because you have all your resources already, and then you don't have to worry about all of the backtracking and all of the missed time on reinforced, which means that all of the Gollux coins you get there, you can keep for backups for superior for 20 to 21 and potentially for 22 without really any loss, because all you're losing is, I think it's something like 4 weapon attack and 3 stat or something of just the base stats of reinforced being a little bit higher, right? So that added value there, especially if you're going to be playing more in width rather than in depth, I would look towards reinforced as your fourth ring here, so that you can keep your primals and keep that resource as much as possible. And then, if you start getting a little bit low on the thing, but since you have all those backups already for superior Gollux, I think that's a safe bet for this guy. Because it'd be a shame, you don't want to gather like 14,000 denarii or something, right? And then everything goes in one go to 22 and you boom nothing. It's like, now you spent a whole lot of time, not being able to capitalize on that. So
something I did figure out is that actually for solo voyages on Kanna, I can just drop boss in one spot and he'll hit both spawn locations and the bird on the rock. So I literally just drop it and just stand there for 30 seconds and everything.
Oh, you got the dreadnought, so you're just hard farming Yeah, it's got a pretty good range, like the horizontal punch, right? It goes like all the way. It's basically the size of the boat, so just punches
and
through
it hits
the entire
a little bit behind him.
Right. It's a little bit of a Gollux breath action going on there.
Yeah.
And you settled on the slate flame?
No, I'm still rolling.
You're rolling over? Okay.
Yeah, right now it's 3 flame score because 30 luck.
Okay. Oh, it's a luck. Oh yeah, I thought it was an int. I thought the 42 was the int. So I was like, you're getting towards like the mid 70s towards 80. So
yeah, no, I got all the flames. I actually enjoyed Misty quite a bit, except for just having to reset your hotkeys every single freaking time.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. For me, it's like the monsters moving weirdly sometimes, or a little bit of the RNG. Yeah. So because sometimes you'd be doing quite well up to day 6, and then suddenly day 6 you get just
all the siege weapons.
Yeah, you got like 4 siege weapons and like 18 of the wizards with the fireballs who just like can't seem to miss. Like that combined would be like a little bit too much sometimes, but it happens once or twice, so it's it's a outlier.
Yeah. I probably had one of the worst things happen to me. I was literally on day 24. The Goblin King was there. He like charged into a wall, and then I placed another one immediately, which like I guess because he was standing where the wall goes, it like dropped him to that like platform below, you know, where like the starting material spawn on both sides,
Okay.
just below the top thing. And so he was there, and then the pathing fucked up, so he like literally turned around. I was shooting him from behind, and he just turned around, charged at me, and I died on like the final bot. And I was like, okay, now I gotta do another fucking run.
You're basically like oh, what's that? Is it like it's like a world, like a floor glitch or something, right? Where people like fall through the texture sometimes, and you
Yeah,
can like see
something
the
like
entire.
that.
So you basically like wall, like floor glitched
Yeah,
them
it's like
without
I've
knowing.
had the bosses spawn on the very bottom floor like 2 or 3 times, but yeah, the Goblin King turning around
I've
and
never had that. I
hitting me
did the
for
whole thing.
150 damage.
The only weird thing I had is where they really like stutter step, like they go like 3 steps forward and 3 steps back, or like 2.5 steps back, so they're like barely moving forward, so it takes forever for them to get to the middle. Like by
Yeah.
the time you're fighting them, it's already like more than an entire day after the time the wave started. But yeah, nothing like that. That sounds that sounds pretty wild. Would have been a cool clip. Okay, rings, Lotus. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, Shining Starforce is still very far way out, so I would definitely dedicate disproportionate amount of your money in the short term just fully towards potentialing and really just cubing a lot. Definitely getting all of the accessories 2.5 line, and then seeing what your emblem does, and then based on that, because the weapon is still can be very expensive, right? So if your emblem goes full magic attack, then you can definitely say like with the extra int, with the extra magic attack, all the other things we mentioned, then it's mainly going to be like an ID thing, and you're going to have to wait for the familiars to kind of see what that does. But if you roll an ID line with 2 magic attack on the emblem, which will most likely happen because there's a pretty good chance for that, then I'd say you'd have like, you know, my blessing to go for the weapon as well, and that should show you a bunch of extra damage together with those pots.
Yeah, because like the pot on my fan is actually pretty new. Before it was like, I think it was boss and int or something, and when I rolled the 80 ID, I was like, it felt so much better killing bosses. Like it was like way faster. So I definitely don't want to go back down to 0 lines of ID on my WC.
Oh yeah, if you had none, then
Yeah, I should say
rocking
WE
like mid?
S doesn't count.
Yeah, not really. So you're rocking like a mid 80s, like
I think it
or
was
like-
like 87 or 89 or something. It just
yeah,
when
late 80s. Yeah.
I noticed I did normal Lotus after I got the 80 ID, and I didn't even have to teleport over to laser once to kill P1. It was just
Right.
dead. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, it's a huge difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one last thing, and that's going to maybe be a little bit more work with the clovers. Did you manage to get your nodes from the clovers as well? Because there's very cheap nodes.
I
in
buy
there,
out the
right?
nodes and usually experience nodes on
Okay.
top of one piggy bank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except the first month because I didn't. There was only like 14 days, so I didn't get it.
Yeah, you'd have to like
Yeah.
buy all the pay to win it. Because I think that's probably the other thing where there's still damage to be gained. The Yuki Onna is very nice and increases in uptime as well with higher level. So that'll help quite a bit with just general uptime. All of your boost nodes are like almost max, but not quite. So there's still gains. You know about the crafting node stones, right? So you just like open a bunch up and then craft node stones again for like half the money. While you're still working on boost nodes, as many as you have as a Kanna, plus you're working on all of the skill nodes still, basically, you know, except for domain. The amount of outs there is still really good. Because the reason I say it is that your Sengoku Force actually does a decent amount of damage. The blue ball is not quite maxed. The Yuki Onna will do extra damage, and then your Goddess Blessing is at 11, so there's still some final damage to be gained there as well. And again, like all of those things together, all of those things compounding, will make a sizable impact on your bursts specifically.
Yeah. I mean, I've been funneling like nodes and familiar cards to my other characters, and so I need to stop doing that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you kind of have to find that balance. I'm assuming you use for bossing, you use Mana Overload instead of either your Holy Symbol or your Fountain here.
Yeah, those switch out with Mana Overload and the iframe, the Etheroform.
You have Sharp Eyes on your gloves?
No.
'Cause
I
you
used to, and I think I forgot to put it on. But yeah, that's a thing I could put on too.
Yeah, 'cause
Especially now on
that's,
255, I have another slot.
Yeah, or yeah, well, you got you have 255 now, right? So you have the extra slot. What's in there now? What did you put in there now?
I just have mana overload, like while
Oh
I'm
yeah,
logging
okay.
too.
And to which extent is DSI good for the weaving? Is that necessary? Does that make it
I
easier?
don't think it matters. Based in your attack speed command, it
Mm-hmm.
says landing at 2 is fine.
Okay.
There's a little note saying like it
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
really affect too much.
Must have looked that up at at some point. That recurring question. Yeah, because you can't really skimp on the boost nodes. You're gonna be using all of them for bossing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if the Ragnar Reflection is level 1, nah, it's still good at level 1. It's a lot of damage. Yeah,
I could
maybe
probably
purchasing extra
slam
slot.
that. I have, how many do I have? I have 72, which I think is more than enough to max, right? You need like 54.
Oh yeah, you need I don't even know if it's 54. I keep forgetting. It's an exclamation mark. Node exp, I believe. Yes, dude, I know my commands. Kind
Nice.
of. Hollow 200,000 of them. Is this the? Oh yeah, it's still going. Okay. Oh yeah, 55.
55.
Yeah, 55 total. So plus 54, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. I never open all of them because I never know if those numbers maybe changed a little bit over time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I have like 200 left as well, so I could be maxing some out as well. But I know my top 6 characters at least are maxed, so I'll just take it from there. Because yeah, and it's gonna be a matter of like everything a little bit combined. Because that's when I'm thinking of like, oh, someone's like, oh, 26k. You know, they probably have their WC like completely decked out. They might already have liberated. You know, because they might have been like a side Kanna that's been brought in.
Once we get Savior, we'll be able to. Those cheese videos won't mean as much because it's like, oh, I can see your magic attack is like 1 trillion. So
yeah,
fuck
exactly.
off.
The magic attack, all the matrix could be completely maxed out, right? They could just like thrown like 5,000 nodes at it and just completely max out everything. And all of those invisible sources of damage together could make quite a sizable difference. You combine that with someone with more practice on other characters and just knowing inside and out how Lotus is going to move. That just gives you more final damage too, because you just aren't as scared. You don't over-respect certain attacks. That'll come with practice, and that'll come with deaths, and then realizing how to prevent those.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of multiple things, but I think the main thing is going to be like the potentials, and probably the matrix. Yeah, those 2 things are going to make quite an impact. Because right now, if you don't have the decent sharp eyes, that is 8% critical damage you're missing as well, right? So
yeah, and my crit damage is low, so that's like 16% final damage roughly. Like not because it's so low. Anyways,
the base is 35, and you're getting plus 78, so 113, and then 8 on that on 113. So that's 114 or something. Yeah, so that's like 7% final damage. Yeah.
okay.
And you throw in mana overload, you throw that in. Yeah, it compounds hardcore. Yeah, and I think the final damage on the Goddess Blessing, is it Sakuno, Princess Sakuno's Blessing? I think.
Yep.
Because I don't know if that should be then in a leveled up slot as well or not, where it's in now compared to some other skills. It might take precedent in leveled up slot over whatever you would put in terms instead of Holy Symbol, right?
Yeah.
So, 11, because I think it goes up pretty, because it scales as well with how long it's up, right? It goes 45-second duration up to 8% final damage up to a total of 43. And when it's maxed, it starts with 15% final damage and goes up by 4 up to a total of 50. So it starts quite a bit higher from the beginning. Yeah.
And goes up. Yeah, finishes 7% more.
Yeah, periodically goes up in increments of 4 as well instead of just 2. So it builds faster, yeah.
Starts faster, builds faster, ends higher.
Ends higher, yeah. And you get that max for a longer time as well. Yeah. And your domain lasts quite long, so you want that to
Yeah.
go on. Yeah.
Yeah, 740 seconds.
Okay. So I think we got a clear, diagnosis of which things I think deserve the most of your attention. So the extra work for you afterwards, I think a few things to discover would be to double check on like maps for training for see if there's any more stuff that people have figured out. But it might just be a matter of just trying out a bunch of different maps and seeing if there's any of them that just make you a little bit more feel like you're interacted with, and it's not completely boring. Or just find some good podcasts and get really just into I don't know, medieval
like always...
medieval warfare in France or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm usually listening to U.S. news, which is probably another source of stress I don't need in my life.
Yeah, there's always something going on, never a slow day over there.
Yeah.
And what was the second thing? Hard Lotus video clears now. We don't really need to check that. Or depending on what kind of content you want to do, maybe start thinking about Oz. I could take some pressure off of a fourth ring, which that could give you some room to breathe. And it might be content that you actually enjoy more than you might think.
I did Oz during, I think, not the most recent, but the one before, the Carnival one had like double Oz drops or something, didn't it?
Yeah, the goo event.
Was it good? Oh yeah. I did that like 3 or 4 times, and I got to like floor like 30, and I was like, I hate this. I mean, I hate jump puzzles in general. Like, I mean, okay. I always say doing flag race is like the worst 10 minutes of the week, and I do it like 4 times a week. So yeah.
It depends on which week it is, right? There's some of them are okay. The one that most people are okay with, the one that was the longest standing, I actually dislike that one the most because I can't really do the jump on the top right. It's just not consistent for me, so I always have to go immediately
for
left.
Me, it's always just like you're doing those like little jump 1-to-1 jumps, and it's like depending on like how long you hold the direction, you like just jump right over it, or you like it's just that's annoying, but whatever. As long as you get to 10K, right?
Yeah, I mean that's if the whole guild gets there, yeah. Sometimes it depends on how you get there. You don't want like 3 people to be carrying the entire guild every week. It's a little feels a little bit rough for those people. So as long as everyone at least is participating and doing their best, then
Yeah, I mean, I was like 100 flag racer up until a couple of months ago. Then I started getting like 250, maybe 400.
Yeah, even if you get 250, that already is a huge amount of pressure off of other people. Yeah. Now 2 people get the same score that 5 people do otherwise. So yeah. Now you can run Culvert in with 2 more people. That opens up your time for that. Which that's until you get to like top 10%, and then you have to make a huge jump to top 5%, and then past that you have to really start cranking out some crazy numbers if you want to start fighting.
And that's all for what, like normal damage is the 4th guild skill, right? Like normal monster damage?
Well, IED would be the 4th one. So if you're like a Kanna endgame, that would be kind of nice. And mostly it's also if you're starting to do Saren and Kalos and that kind of stuff. Those guys go over 300% PDR, right? So the IED is quite nice there. It becomes more useful than you might think. But yeah, it's really just like a handful of guilds that can really rely on that skill for anything, and everyone else is just it's like 2, 4, maybe 6 skill points in there, but that's about it.
Yep.
And it lasts for like 4 minutes. Yay.
Yeah, it's not even worth it.
It's a cooldown forever, yeah. All right. Notes and cubing, and then Prage for the familiars, basically. That's the quick rundown.
Yeah, familiars just feels so bad because like you get so many more cards that like I max out more cards than I get, so like it's like I like leveled up like 10 to level 5, and I have to wait till I get like 1,000 cards, and that's like
yeah, it could take a bit, especially now with totems gone. That takes a while for sure.
Yeah, I mean I never use totems anyways, so whatever.
You were able to keep the Kishin uptime just fine.
I mean, I've never been a big trainer. Like most of my totems
Mm-hmm.
went to Legion Mules, and
I see. I see.
even with Kishin spawn rate, it's like I never really trained much in my Kana. I think my Kana basically went like 247 to 255 on dailies and event potions.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do that, yeah. And then because I had characters, I think I have 4 characters or something that were like max symbols by the time I got to 243 or something.
Yeah,
Because
my
we didn't
Kanas were
have
max
the
symbols.
dailies EXP yet, and then once they started implementing that, you just by the time you're maxed, you get like 5 or 6 levels extra, and then you throw in a magnificent growth potion, and boom, you're 250. Yeah, kind of what your Adele probably did, I imagine, and your Arc
Yeah.
is soon to do.
Yep.
All right. Wait, do you have a Doa's Mule?
Yes.
Oh, that's the Lara.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I remember now because it's a U. Okay. Anything else you can think of? Anything else you wanted to share? Ask the chat. Oh yeah, if anyone is also very asocial, you hate people, and you want to maybe duo Hard Lotus and Hard Damien, does that stand, or do you hate people so
Sure,
much
let's
you
do
wouldn't
it.
even do that?
I mean, I'm in 2 Lucid Will parties, so I
Oh, okay,
can't.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Limited exposure.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mostly my job is like tech support basically, and
Uh-huh.
like these people like, oh, I didn't enter my password properly. Can you help?
Yeah, it doesn't make you love people more. I've worked in tech support
No,
a
no,
bit.
it doesn't.
It's you get your whole flow chart of like, did you switch it off and on again?
Yeah.
That's it fixes like 85% of your problems. You're like, you're welcome. Oh,
Yep.
you like the it's not the IT Crowd. You ever seen that TV show?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I don't watch TV either, or like movies
Oh,
or
okay.
anything. I just
It's like a British comedy show, and there's just a guy who answers the phone all day and is like, "Hello, IT," and then he pretends like there's someone on the other line. It's like, "Have you tried switching it off and on again?" And he waits for like 5 seconds. You're welcome, and then he hangs up. They throw that in like almost every episode, just in between somewhere, because that's like the reality of IT basically.
yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. All right, homework for you. I'll let you say hi to your wife for the first time this week, so she knows you still exist. And I don't know if you'll lock yourself into your computer basement.
No, I don't. But I spend too much time on the computer.
I'm gonna say there's so many shiny lights, so many moving things. It's all a bunch of cool stuff,
Yeah, she played Maple back in the day when we were in high school, so she knows.
She knows the trap. She got out though.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's plenty of other kinds of traps you can fall into. But yeah, if there's nothing else, I'll wish you good luck.
Thank you.
And yeah, hopefully we'll see some beautiful pots in the near future, and I'll see you around in the chat.
Of course. All right. Thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Alrighty then. Oh yeah, I have to check in OBS. Is everything still dandy? Oh my god, my green screen is kind of on the screen. Oh, we can't be having that. Okay, fixed. All right. So if you were in a similar situation, probably not, but if you were in a similar situation, hopefully there were a few things, or in a completely different situation, hopefully a few things that stood out, a few things, tips, ways of thinking, stuff we looked into, commands that popped up, anything that can help you out. And if there's other commands, other information you're looking for, you can always check the Twitch chat over, I think it's over there. I can't see myself because one of my monitors broke. Yeah, over there. And you can use ! And then whatever topic you're looking for information on, and it'll pop up. The bot will shoot out some information to you, and then you can click that, and then boom, there'll be a video, or there'll be a wiki post, or there'll be a Google Doc, or there'll be a beautiful spreadsheet with a whole bunch of information on it that will help you out and set you in your direction. If that's not enough, ask me live. I stream every day over at twitch.tv/Scardor. Or leave a comment in this video. We left a few things open, and there were a few questions because Kanna, a lot of things moved around with Kanna. If you are a in-depth, seasoned Kanna player and you know for sure the answer to some of the questions, and you could help myself or the beautiful person who was in the progression session out, definitely leave a comment over at YouTube. Also, leave a comment if you would like to win one of these sessions. I give 2 of these sessions away for free every month. The brunt of the sessions are paid sessions, and then some of them are with channel points, like this one, by people who are subscribed over at Twitch. And then there's also the option of winning a free session by leaving a comment with your Discord name saying that you would like to win, and then we'll reach out to you on Discord if you win at the beginning of next month. So all of the videos with sessions like these in this month will be, all the comments will be eligible to win. So don't forget if you want to win. Other than that, I will thank you for watching, and I'll see you either in the next video or I'll see you on Twitch. I stream there every day, okay? Except for next week. I'm going to be gone for a few days. But check it out, all right? Thanks for watching.